Yeah, that's all good. Log in as the society.
Yeah.
Right, tabletop bitter. I need to rename the thing. It's like, we're not streaming anymore. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, watch now.
Oh.
Yes, please.
Are
I'm
you
muted.
live?
I believe so. Let me just quickly do some thingy. Category. Music? Is that a category?
That sounds like it should be.
It's a category.
Hey. You even put musical studio if you wanted.
Wow. I'm just going to open up Discord, another tab, which will hopefully immediately detect for streamer mode, because we're streamers.
Yes. As you can see, we're 100% on time. We are the most professional streamers.
What's an announcement?
Look, it's the announcement that I posted.
Which still doesn't have a link.
No, it doesn't, and I don't know why.
Okay. Okay. We'll give it a few minutes while I'm generally recovering. Oh, bless Chi. Doing a really lovely job. We've got 2 viewers. 2! One of them Lils. Okay. Oh, no, it's because I've got it open in a separate tab. Oh, that's so sad.
It's fine.
It's okay. Oh, what's that notification? It's September. Oh, wow.
Thanks, Twitch, for September.
September. I mean, that means it's like a subwoofer, right? So it's really bassy. September. It's going to be an interesting stream, and by interesting I mean literally no prep has been done, but that's okay. In about 5 minutes. So actually, we said we'd be live in about 5 minutes. We've beaten ourselves.
Yeah, hooray! We're on time actually.
Oh, we're so good at this. In fact, in the time, let me make some notes for what I'm actually going to talk about, because I want to be prepared. Yeah. These are my PhD notes. I want my... Let's just get quick sheets, because that's usually enough. Alright, so Anakin asked a question, and I think it really was a good summary of the steps. Just so then I can get this prepared. The full music process, knowing you need a certain piece to have it ready to play. So what would that be? That would be deciding on music.
Yeah.
I'm just, for everyone who's joining, I'm literally making the notes that I will be using during this stream, on stream. Yes. Instruments, that's a good next question. And then stylistic references. There's a polite way of saying crime. Composing, which is a fairly big step. Like melodies and chords and bass. And then I know you're a drummer, Scarlett, so you'll be disappointed, but I did drums last on every single piece.
I mean, that's backwards from the way that I've done the little music that I have.
Well, I'm not a drummer at all. Okay, sure, I hit that. I hit the cajon with spirit. Unfortunately,
sometimes spirit's all that it requires.
Yep. Unfortunately, the spirit is badness. No, I'm joking.
Hannah's not here. We can't bop you.
You can't bop me. And then we're going to do recording and mastering. I probably have to at some point do an intro to the actual stream as to what this is and why this got so big and what the fuck is going on. The same music, instrument, stylist, restaurants comes, and then Q&A throughout. If there's anybody to ask questions, it's like that meme of what's it called? If I had any. This is where I'd put my questions if I had any. And in the end, I'll throw up the website.
The website?
Yeah, the website.
Ooh.
Yeah, warwicktabletop.co.uk.
It's Warwick Tabletop website too.
Yeah. Oh, we've got 3 people now. My God. Of course. Hello, Lils. Oh, it's okay. It'll be a very...
Always supportive in everything that we do.
Yeah. It will be a very chill stream.
Yeah.
What did I say? Composing process, recording, mixing, mastering. My favourite parts of each bit of music. That will come up in composing because I have a lot to say about favourite bits. Because I have some absolute lovely bits that I really enjoyed writing. Or rather, I got stuck writing and then was like, oh my god, when it finally worked. It was so good. So good. Right.
So.
Hi. This might actually be everyone, but that's okay. You wanted to hear it.
Yes.
Lils wanted to hear it.
I am here to ask stupid questions about music.
Good, because that's what we need in life. And then if anybody else wants to see it, they'll catch it on the VOD. I was trying to think of a joke there, but it just missed completely. All right. I guess I'll just start, because why not, right?
Yeah.
We're all calm here. Oh, got an email. Oh, close. Also close. Okay, I have my notes here. I have a keyboard in front of me.
Yeah.
Oh, it's too quiet.
Yeah. Also, let us know how that comes through on stream, because we don't know.
Yeah, because we're having to do some very spicy audio tech, let's say.
Yeah. And by audio tech, we mean we have some speakers and we have a microphone and...
Oh, it's better than that, because my computer is plugged into the keyboard and the keyboard is providing the speakers.
Oh yeah.
Which is like doubly ridiculous. But it's fine. Oh, I never actually opened up that Chrome instance, did I? So we'll open up tab 6, Chrome, because it should be, it's pre-opened to reface MIDI, so... There we go. All the notes come up, and that's great. I have no idea how loud this is. It's currently on max, although you can also hear a quiet whining noise from my cable. Or is it cricket? It sounds like crickets. It sounds like...
Might be. But also, could be either.
Yeah, it sounds a bit like we've made a bad joke and everything's silent as a result. Anyway, let's talk about music.
Yeah, keep talking so the crickets don't creep in.
Yeah, exactly. The crickets aren't real and can't hurt us. Oh, there's a new person in this Discord. That's cool. Oh, yeah. This is going to be extremely chill. If you have any questions about literally anything, please ask them, because otherwise it's just going to be us two rambling in a room. And to be honest, that's fine.
Yeah,
but questions would be nice.
I'd watch that.
Yeah, fair enough. This is the true shitpost stream. If Hannah was here, then we would ask her to join. But unfortunately, she went to the shops, didn't she?
I think she said she'd be back at 10, so I'm not entirely sure what she's doing.
Oh, fair enough. All right. Well, whatever. Let's start talking about music. Right. First point on my list: introduction. So, the music of Monsters on a Cruise Ship. That certainly happened, didn't it? Jesus. If the ones of you which have better memory will remember that we advertised the Monsters on a Cruise Ship stretch goal as having a full kazoo soundtrack.
Yes.
Nothing about composing, nothing about anything like that. I just do a couple covers, stick them on at opportune moments, and have a grand old time. Whoops. Whoopsie daisy. Did the fuck up.
I think the original intention with this was just like, I think I suggested the idea of doing like a Monsters on the Cruise Ship series. Yeah. Like as a joke. And now here we are.
Yeah, in the extra bonus, the extra bonus stream, sorry, because we ran out of time in the previous one. But yeah, and then it turns out I wrote 7 unique compositions, and then a couple of extra bonus sounds that I needed, and a bunch of covers, which was good because I needed names to fill up the credits slides. So we got that. But yeah, it's been a whirlwind of a journey, let's say. Yes. It's been ridiculously exciting. Learning how to compose. I also got a lot better in the process. This first piece, the theme song, took, I want to say, like 4 weeks to write, while the rest of them I had to write in a week, basically, which was proper fast in it.
I couldn't write anything in like 4 weeks, let alone 1 week.
So we're learning. Yes. It's good. Yeah. To be honest, if we get enough time, maybe we'll write something quick at the end of the stream in like 20 minutes. Let's go. 20-minute composition. Oh, Raylan's here. Hey.
Heyo.
We could literally call out all of our viewers.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's sad or not, but we're just going to go with it. It's cool. It's okay.
It's fine. No thoughts, head empty.
No thoughts, head empty. But yeah, it was a bit of a surprise, needless to say, that the music turned out to be such a thing. Yeah. Going from... Like, I think I messaged you a few weeks before Monsters, like, I want to write a jazz standard.
You messaged me, like, oh, hey, how are you with jazz?
Oh, yeah, because I was going to ask you to record.
Yeah.
But in the end, I just got a computer program to do it. Sorry, you've been replaced.
How dare you?
Yeah, that makes sense.
To be fair, my answer was basically jazz.
Yeah, that's fair. So, I should probably introduce with my... Like, the skills I had in order to make this happen. I've not done that much composing before at all. I've done a couple of very, very short game soundtracks, and by that I mean there was a game jam and I wrote like one track for the music and was like, wow, amazing. It's a perfectly nice piece of music. So this is far beyond my abilities, but there you go. A lot of my skill comes from improvising and jazz and just listening to a lot of music and understanding a lot of music, which was what helps me compose. And what we'll end up talking about is basically improvising a melody, working out a bass line, and then the chords are basically, hey, what sounds good with those things? Spoiler alert? Sure.
No, how dare you spoil my stream?
But yeah, anyway. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say for the intro. So deciding on music.
Yeah, I think that covers things. Yeah.
Yeah. So deciding on the music. Anakin asked a question about starting from like a little piece of music, or like from the idea of a piece of music and going all the way to having something recorded and composed and ready to go. And the first step on that is predictably deciding on a piece of music. The big thing I did during this, during Monsters, was play to my strengths. So that's why I wrote jazz for the intro, funk for the outro, whatever the Leighton theme was for the Leighton theme, and didn't write like any rock tunes or anything like that, because I don't know rock. You know rock.
I know rock. Yeah.
I do not.
Topaz knows rock.
Yeah, Topaz definitely knows rock. I didn't know any of that, so I went with what I knew and wrote some jazz. And despite the fact that you can go to like school, like music schools to professionally learn this stuff, I just tried and it came out okay. So like, success, right? It's right.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, designing on the music was basically a lot of the music was tied to the episode ideas. So we talked about this back in the previous bonus stream, like having the Leighton episode and the Goose episode and all that sort of stuff. The Goose episode. And sort of, so the episode ideas push the music in that direction. Like, I wrote the Leighton theme because I wanted to run a Leighton episode because I'd just been playing a bunch of Phoenix Wright and was having a grand old time. It was just like, I want the scene with the spotlights and going, objection, and all that stuff. Yes. And you know what I'm going to do? Go for the slightly wrong game and do the other one.
Professor Leighton's better anyway. It's fine, Jacob can't hear me, he's not in chat.
If he watches the VOD and just fucking roasts you.
Yeah, can't wait to get pinged in like a couple of weeks.
Yeah. What was I going to say? But also in other cases, the wanting to write pieces of music made me go for certain episodes. So I was always going to go for a Goose episode, but I wasn't planning to go for a big Goose boss battle. And then I had the idea for the music and was like, okay, looks like it's a boss battle then. I can't remember. Why did I... Oh, because I think my supervisor mentioned something about Dark Souls, and I was just like, I know what I want to write, despite the fact I've never heard the Dark Souls OST.
Yeah, step 1 to running a Monsters on the Cruise Ship campaign. Come up with which video games you want to rep
off. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yes, it's just video games, story. I mean, to be honest, because I don't read that much, it's mainly video games, but that's fine, and that's okay. Everything's good. Oh, dear. I'm so good at this talking lark.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Keep going.
It's all good. But yeah, identifying what piece of music I wanted to write or cover, or the piece of music I wanted to write and cover helped design episodes, and the episodes design helped inform. That's the word I've been looking for the past 5 minutes. Inform. Helped inform what music I wanted to write and cover. So, for example, the music under the monologue in the final episode, planning that for months. Like, I knew that the end of the campaign, I wanted Time to Freeze and a cover of that, because I've known that song for like, no, it's not going to be 10 years by this point. It'll be like 5 or 6 years. It's a song by Björk. Björk. Yeah. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, because
I
it's
don't know either,
umlaut, but it's not like, I don't think it's pronounced like the German one, which is like Björk.
No,
I don't know.
It's Björk. Right?
Björk. Yeah. Okay, my bad.
Well, I don't know why I'm being the voice of authority here. I don't know how to pronounce things.
That's fair enough. It's close enough, isn't it? Yeah. But like, yeah, that was to answer the question of deciding on music. Depended on the episodes. Depended on depended on other stuff. There's one. No, that's not an exception per se. But a couple of pieces just sort of came out of the blue, like the Dante song.
Yes.
I was just on the auto harp one evening and then played a couple chords that sounded nice. I was like, ooh, that sounds like a song to me. And then it was a song.
It was a very good song.
I'm very proud of that song. I'm surprised at how well that song went. I
think it was combined with the context as well.
Yeah. The context of absolutely roasting you was in a good context. Yeah. But yes, I think that answers the question how the music was decided on. It was basically just a game of what do I need? And also, hey, I want this episode to sound cool and I have this piece of music. Let's design the episode around it. Yeah. Especially as so interestingly about the episode design, I planned all five of the like sort of tasks way in advance, and then scrapped one of them because I scrapped the Monster Olympics. I wanted Phoenix right.
Yeah, it's perfectly understandable, honestly.
Yeah, but I've lost my train of. What was I going to say? Oh, I planned the things beforehand, but then like the bits inside the episodes were informed by music and what the characters were doing and that sort of thing. Like all the Eldritch stuff, which was good. But yeah, that's deciding on music. The next point on my list is instruments. Instruments, I had 2 rules for deciding on instruments. 1, I could play it, or 2, it didn't sound like utter crap when synthesized by software.
Yeah. I think not sounding like utter crap when synthesized by software is probably my biggest downfall.
I see. Like, so the challenge, like, as I'm sure you've experienced, some instruments are very hard to do in software.
Yeah.
Very hard.
Yeah.
Any brass instrument, pretty much any wind instrument, I feel like, I'm not sure, have you tried electric guitars?
Yeah, well, or to be fair, my guitar sample was a chord that I was just pitching up and down.
Okay, yeah, that's like, a recipe for disaster in itself.
I mean, I think there's like Spotify, there's like Soundtrap that does guitars, but also Soundtrap doesn't like, if you have a guitar, it does it for a bar, but like, you can't like get within that, which is really not useful.
Yes. Like, there are some I imagine there are some better guitar samples than the one you were dealing with, but I expect they still wouldn't be very good without the right use of effects and stuff. We'll talk about effects right at the end, I think. So what that led to, what was the instrumentation of Monsters? My voice, which was a huge surprise. I do not consider myself that good a singer. But also,
this is a lie.
Like, I'll be honest. Like, I sing a lot in the shower, as you might have found in your weeks of being here. A week is it singular? Yeah, it'd be singular, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, I sing in the shower. Apologies.
No, it's fine. So do I.
Okay, cool. I'm good at like notes, but I'm less good at lyrics and stuff. So actually singing 2 songs with lyrics. Mind-blowing. Absolutely unexpected. The recording sounds all right, and so I didn't have to mess with it that much.
Yeah,
which was a genuine surprise.
And well, from my perspective, as not the person who made the thing, they were all really good.
Oh, thank you. It was a huge surprise. I mean, actually, separate thing, and given that Lils is the only person in chat, as far as I can see. Oh, there's other people.
Oh no, we have viewers.
That's good. Yeah. We've got viewers. That's cool. But particularly at Lils, although I at everyone, the reason that the music exists as it does in Monsters on a Cruise Ship was because of the bonus stream and people's positive reaction to what's the song I sung?
It was
the one from Diamond Jack. The villain I appear to be.
Yeah, the villain I appear to be. Yeah,
because people were ridiculously supportive.
Yeah, I hadn't heard you sing before, and so and you hadn't talked yourself up, and then you sang that, and it was amazing. And it was it was a turning point. I don't sing lyrics. Well, okay. I didn't sing lyrics, and then I went, I want to sing this song. I like this song. Still cis, though. And it turned out genuinely good. Yeah.
What? We'll talk about Villain I Appear to Be when we talk about the theme song for reasons that will become very criminal, very obvious. No stealing,
yes.
No stealing. But yeah, voice was a big instrument. Then instruments I could play. Trombone. Notably, I'm meant to be good at trombone. The thing I learnt during this experience is that I'm very bad at recording trombone.
Yes.
It turns out recording instruments is very hard,
yes.
and this is why they pay people to do it.
Yeah, I do have some experience recording instruments. I know it's a pain, especially when you get drum kits involved.
Oh god, because you have to mic up every individual drum,
yeah,
right?
It's So essentially, it's not just the fact that you have to mic up. You have multiple mics if you want to do it properly. But also, there's the fact that if you're trying to record with other instruments at the same time, you basically have to put the drum kit in the box, or it's not going to do well.
Oh yeah, because I assume the drum sound leaks into every other microphone on stage. So I've done gigs where they've mic'd up individual drums, and
I don't think I've ever been every individual drum mic'd up, but I've certainly had a couple over there, and then one in the bass drum. And,
to give audio description, Scarlett put her hands up in the air, surrounding the drum up top, right?
Yeah, above the cymbals. I just forgot that I can't wave my arms and have people understand me.
Yeah, because sadly your arms are
my arms are invisible.
Your arms are invisible. Woo, spooky. Yeah. Does Scarlett have arms? Nobody knows. We'll find out on Sunday. Maybe. I don't know. We'll work it out. But yeah, so trombones, an instrument I'm meant to be good at, as I said, very hard to record. I have a lot to say about trombones if we spend some time on recording and mixing, because I ended up reading a bunch of articles on the matter. Piano doesn't sound crap when synthesized, especially if you get the right sampler. So I just chucked piano in it. That's all good. Acoustic bass, I'm very impressed because MuseScore's bass sound is genuinely quite good. Mixer, if I solo the acoustic bass, that's amazing. It sounds fine.
Yeah.
It needs to be. I'm gonna stop there. I really hope that came through on the on OBS's end. Let me just quickly. Yeah, it's coming through. Cool. Okay. I just wanted to test that. It really surprised me how alright that sounded, so I kept it. Drum set, I used a drum set was synthesized. There's this fantastic plugin called Drum Gizmo, which pretends to be a drum kit. It's great. It just works. I'm so impressed.
Yeah, unfortunately, drum samples are painfully good nowadays.
Yes,
and I kind of hate it.
Oh yeah. And here's the bonus bit. So software, I'm going to talk about this now because I will forget otherwise. A big thing that drum machines do is have this humanize parameter where they deliberately set some of the notes slightly off just to make it sound more human. So it sounds even better now.
Disgusting.
I know, it's ridiculous, isn't it? Yeah. But it's a cool little feature, and I'll probably show that off later. But yeah, that's an instrument. I think I've covered most of them at this point. Melodica, electric keys. The melodica was played by hand. much to my concern during one particular piece. We'll get to that. And the electric keys were synthesized. But I now, as of last Thursday, own a little electric keys keyboard. I love it. It's so nice. I genuinely adore it, and I think this whole Monsters on a Cruise Ship experience has definitely led me to buying more instruments.
Yeah.
My bank account is okay, thanks for asking. I just took on more teaching so I can pay for it all. No, I took on more teaching for separate reasons, but yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I think that's most of the instruments covered.
Yeah, some good old anti-accountancy being done.
Yeah, so much anti-accountancy was done during Monsters on a Cruise Ship. But yeah, instruments, if there are any more that I've forgotten more. Oh, autoharp.
Autoharp.
The autoharp is the most expensive instrument I own aside from my bass trombone. I think my tenor trombone was cheaper, which says something. It's great and wonderful and I love it. Cool. Yes. But I think that's all the instruments. So...
yes.
Oh, wait, this was meant to be a point on, like, picking instruments for a song. Okay, that's fine. So what we'll do then is I think we'll talk about the main theme.
Oh, yeah, we can talk
about
the main theme, yeah.
Like, the composition process behind that, and then the mastering process behind that. Actually, no, we'll talk about the main theme, then the credits, and the mastering process behind the credits, because the credits were the best mastered, because I'd actually learned what I was doing by then. Yeah. And then I can say cool stuff about that rather than... being clueless.
Yes, that makes sense.
Cool. Good. All right. Main theme. So my composition process was twofold. First, compose. Oh, I guess, sorry. The creation process was twofold. First, compose, and second, record in this program called Reaper. I'll show off the features of that later. I'm really impressed with Reaper. I need to actually purchase it now because I've gone past the 60-day free trial. But it's so good. I'm really impressed. MuseScore is what I use for the composition. And the first thing I always do when going into composing a tune is, what is it and what instruments do I need? Yeah. And like sort of the stylistic references I could go off because... all art is theft, I think someone said.
Yeah, something like that. The music industry wouldn't exist without plagiarism.
Exactly, and I'm a very strong proponent of crime.
Yeah.
Crime, vibes, and music theory are basically the three tools I used. But about Monsters, the main theme. The main theme is what's called a singer's tune in big bands. What that means is you have a singer who sings the tune, novel, but also you get the band accompanying and sometimes like interrupting playfully.
All right.
I think there is one rule to there's a couple of rules to a singer's tune, like have a singer and that sort of thing. But there's like one composing rule, which is don't let the band get in the way of the singer.
Yes.
The singer is number one. They will always be the one in focus. Yeah, so that's the sort of thing I approach with composing the main theme. There were a couple of inspirations I had. Predictably, the villain I appear to be.
Yes. The Totally Cis tune.
The Totally Cis tune. Here's a fun fact for you. The first four notes of Villain I Appear to Be are... oh God, what is it? That. Yeah. The first four notes of Monsters on a Cruise Ship. Ba, 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 ba. Crime! I did one crime. Yeah. So it's in the same key as well. This is the key of, oh God, I think it's F minor for anyone who cares.
So how do keys work?
How do keys work? Just in general?
Like, as in, like, with regards to, like, how you kind of, like, write the song, like, how do, like, keys, like, interact with the process?
For the main theme, it was pretty simple. It was just a game of what key is villain I appear to be in. Cool. That answers my question. Although I guess a more technical answer would be, like, I had maybe the first, like, bar of the... first, like, 2 or 3 bars of the melody in my head in the shower. Da-da-da-da, da-ba-da-ba-da-wah. And it's a game of what key does that fit into? So we have the... we've got A flat.
Yeah.
Da da da, G flat, F. So that means we've got G flat and A flat at least. Mm-hmm. So that means we're in a key of at least 5 flats because the 5 flats are B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat. Mm-hmm. So there's a G flat in there, so we must have it. Admittedly, it could also be a sharp key, but we're not going to think about that. Da 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 da. So that's another flat in the key, which means it fits with that. So, that's a chord apparently, but like
D flat sus.
D flat sus.
Raylan, you here?
But like, so the keys were chosen based on the notes of the melody. So.
Alright. Yeah, so I guess like step one is get the notes of the melody.
Yeah. Admittedly, like you might have a key in mind and then make a melody on top of that. So maybe if I decided, I want to play a tune in C or C minor. So that's the common notes of C minor, and then you might make up a tune on that. Like that's a tune, and that's in C minor. So maybe that's how you choose your key. You just go, hey, I like that note, or I like that key. Let's try and write something that works with it.
Okay.
And of course, like you've always got the option of transposing a tune. So let's say you make a tune and like you go, this is great, but actually I want it to be in a different key because I just want to try it out. I want to see how it feels. Maybe if you're really patient, you'll go through every possible key and then just transpose the tune up and up and up and up and see how it sounds each time. So so let's do that. Maybe that's a tune, but then you could go ba, 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 ba. I think that was it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that...
like, I don't know. But you might decide, you might decide you want it to be in a different key, or you might decide you want it to be in the same key. The keys are fairly flexible. I think people do put feelings towards keys. I don't know what they are. Like, some people are like, C sounds uplifting, and D sounds heroic, and I don't know. But you could probably Google it, and you could probably go, there's I want us to compose a heroic tune. In fact, let's look. Let's Google. We've got 2 hours. What do hedgehogs eat? Different keys sound like. Go on, give me some moods. Effective musical key characteristics. Here we go. Like, completely pure. Its character is innocence, simplicity, naivety, children's talk. Let's see.
This is such bullshit, isn't it?
Apparently F minor, the key I used a bunch, is deep depression, funeral lament, groans of misery, and longing for the grave. Gotta be real with you. No! I think this is bullshit.
Yeah.
But, like, some people have genuine thoughts about this, and look, they're there.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna move away from the keyboard a little bit.
Don't necessarily have to be right.
Yeah, sometimes people are wrong, and that's cool. They're very wrong. Very, very wrong. Well, it's a B flat major, cheerful love, clear conscience, hope and aspiration. Like, okay, let's just try it. Here's a B flat major chord. How are you feeling?
Fine, I guess.
Cool. Also, I'm going to change the sound slightly because I think this one's a bit louder. Yeah, that's louder. But like, it's kind of bullshit. Let's be real. Although this is a B flat minor. A quaint creature, often dressed in the garment of night, mocking God and the world. What? All right, never mind.
Yeah, okay.
Chords are made up. If you want to like think about chords, cool. You do you. What have we learned? I don't think we've learned anything so far. No. That's fine. But to seriously answer your question, the key sometimes determined by just messing about, sometimes determined by going, I have a bit of a melody fragment, sometimes determined by, I've got a bit of a chord sequence fragment. You've just been messing about on the keyboard or whatever and been like, 2 chords, and then the chords fit, and that's great. That sort of thing. I think that answers your question.
Yeah.
So just sort of a game of... You don't necessarily go into the tune and go, I'm going to compose it in this key right now. Instead, you go, I have this melody. I think it fits in this key. Oh, it does. Good job, me. I'm so proud of myself. So it was just, as we showed in this example, it was a game of looking at the notes and going, we must have a key like this, which is just an awkward bit of music theory. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's what... Yeah, I was thinking that we've gone for long enough without the answer being music theory.
Yeah, I'm sorry, the answer's music theory. But like, You can just you can just make up a tune and see what happens. So like ba 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 ba. That would be I don't know what key that would be. I think that might be F minor actually. It's like an F minor-ish kind of deal. I don't know. Music to be honest, I know notes. And I know they can be put together to make chords, but if you ask me for a chord progression, I will scream. I just don't know that much music theory, which is okay. All right. What's the next question? Let's go back to our piece of music. So, the voice, how I approach this, first thing, a bit of a melody line. I see your smile from the other side of the ballroom, and so on and so on. The next job was putting this to chords. The first thing I tried to do was because this was my first piece I'd composed for a long time. I tried to work it out using music theory. Spoiler alert, I failed horribly. I sat down there going, this must be like this chord, and then this must be like this chord, and so on, using the notes of the melody. So going da 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 da. So we've got like that dodgy D, which doesn't fit in the key, but then we still want that, and maybe it's a challenge. I don't really know how to do it, to be honest.
I think that was my that was what my attempt was is I have some notes in the voice, and maybe chords work with that. But
so I think it works sometimes. So this was a really bad example, this bar here, because it's literally just got that D in it. And the bass line's there, but I think the bass line was written after the chord, so we can't assume that. That's not helpful. But what we can do is this one's really good because it's got that D flat and that B flat. So we've got a chord with that. In this case, I put an F at the bottom. That's a chord because that's B flat minor for anybody at home who knows what the words mean. Because I kind of do, but if somebody went, quick, play B flat minor, I'd be like, rather than just immediately playing it.
Yeah, B flat minor, dunno.
No, who knows? But it was a game of experimenting. What I actually did for this tune was I wrote the melody out and then just looped it and tried some chords on it, personally.
Right.
So I just went, what sounds good? So we got da 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 da. Da, da, da. That was alright, and then an A flat fits in that, you have the first chord. It was just so I took maybe one note from the melody and tried stuff out with it. The key really helps here because the key gives you the notes that you're meant to play with. So you might go da 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 F, and then what other notes fit? So we're gonna look at the D. We're gonna look at the F minor scale. We've got the F. We've got the G flat. That's not gonna work.
Yeah.
Bad. We've got the A flat. That's good. We've got B flat, C, D flat, E flat, F. There's a bunch of notes in there that could work, and the ones I went for were F, B flat, and D flat. I think. No, sorry, that was it's F. D flat, F, D flat, A flat is the ones I went with, sorry. That's the thing that's a different chord. Other notes in the thing. I haven't got the thing. Actually, what I'm going to do, moving into workspace 3, and then if I shrink it just a little bit, and then, I just beat up the microphone. Whoops. Pop. You can go down there. Goodbye. You're in the naughty corner now. But what we do have is now we have this. Yeah. Cool.
You haven't told me the name of the chord.
Yeah, this is. I found this yesterday night because I wanted something to show the keyboard, otherwise nobody would be able to see it. Yeah, this is really useful. But it was a game of experimenting.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I don't know how to do music theory properly. What's a good? I know a couple of good tips, which we'll come across in the rest of the compositions. But usually, one tip I can give here is that it's nice to start off with a chord that is very common in the key. So common chords in a key. If we're working the key of F minor, so F minor is a very common chord in this key.
All right, yeah.
This is like I think it's called the tonic. It's the first chord of 7. What you can do is if you take a scale. Actually, let's take D flat so this is D flat major instead, which is equivalent. Oh, da 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 da. So like you can take the first, third, and fifth.
Yep.
But you can also start a new chord on the second note with the fourth and the sixth. So we've got that's the first, and then that's another chord that fits well. And then we're going to go on to the next chord, which is F minor, and then the next chord, which is G flat major.
Right, yeah.
And so on. Like you can just construct these chords by literally taking notes in the scale that jumping over one note at a time, effectively.
Yeah, and like from my limited like keyboard use, I know like you do the C and then you do like the second one and then you do the second one, then that's a good chord.
Yes, that's right. So like in fact let's work in C because that makes it really easy to explain. So here's C major, which was apparently what, childlike for the description earlier?
Childlike, something like that.
Childlike. So here's C major, but then if we just shift all my fingers up one place, you get D minor.
Ooh.
Which is a good chord in C major because it uses all of the notes it uses notes in C major, but it's still a chord in its own right. So you have this D minor chord, and that's good. And then E minor, F major, G major, A minor, B diminished, spicy. Don't worry what a diminished chord is because that would involve me explaining it, and I can't be asked. And we're back to C major again.
Okay.
So like you can build a bunch of chords which make sense in your key, literally just by taking a note then in your scale and then going up to and then going up to.
Yeah, okay.
With any note in the scale, which is really useful because it gives you, as I said, a bunch of chords that just work.
And like Todd Howard said, it just works.
There you go. It's lovely. So the best chords to start with are usually the first note, the one that starts on the first note, the one that starts on the fourth note, or the one that starts on the fifth.
Okay.
Don't ask me why. Oh, actually, I can give you a bit of an intuition why. In major keys, this is C major, F major, G major. They're all of the majors that you assemble from doing that trick of just going up the keyboard. That's less good. That's a D minor because it says on the screen it's a D minor. But like a good first chord is just take either that one, that one, that one. You're good. Yeah. You did it. Good job. Shame about the rest of the chords you now have to write.
Yeah, good. You have a chord. Congratulations. Now do the rest of the song.
Yeah, this is the owl method of composing. Get the first chord, draw the rest of the fucking song. Wait. But I think that's kind of how I approach chord writing. A combination of that and the method that you sort of mentioned earlier of taking the notes in the melody and going, what fits with that? Yeah. There are a couple of tricks that we can go through, in fact. So, on this tune, wrote the melody first pretty much, or at least most of the melody. We also have these interjections, which I'll talk about in a little bit. Notably, key idea, you do not need to compose new stuff all the time. Repeating is good.
Yes.
So, for example, in the Monsters song, we have, the main thing, we have this D flat chord, there's E diminished 7 chord, don't worry about it, B flat, A flat, 7, G minor, and then we loop. We just repeat because it's good. We can just stick with it. Actually, we might. Yeah. No, we do loop. We loop at B.
Yes, I am well familiar with the. Verses and choruses exist so that I only have to write a certain amount of stuff.
Yes, exactly. This is really important because, like, certainly with some of the later compositions, I didn't approach it that way. I was like, I need new idea, and then realised that was fucking stupid. Yeah. It's just how it is. Unfortunately, it does mean you have to change sometime, which is where we get into this B section. Oh no, this is still the A section I've gone to, but this is where the trombones come in. We'll talk about structure in a little bit. Soft and warm appealing, we're all monsters, you and I. Oh, this bit goes na 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 na. Like that sort of upward motion is so good for increasing intensity. Like so, just play that snippet. So it's going up. Also, what you've probably learned from this snippet is that the trombone sound is absolute shite. It's terrible. I hate it so much. It's so demotivating because I was writing all these parts and it's just like, this sounds shit. Why does it sound shit? And the answer was actually musical for once rather than just me. But this sort of upward motion is really cool. So what you can do is like have your lovely verse mechanism, like or your verse chord sequence, and then go ba 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 ba, and then you're in a new section. That might even take you to a new key, but we're not going to worry about that because that involves me explaining things, and I don't want to. But like these sorts of little ideas are really cool for that sort of thing. In a way, a big part of composing here was... So actually, let's talk about drums for a second, because I think it's the same sort of idea. And you know drums, so yes. I can get this to you.
All right, yeah.
You have normal drums, right? You have your normal beats. And then sometimes you have cool fills.
Yeah, you have fills, yeah.
Yeah, because fills are really important and cool.
Yeah.
And basically...
Yeah, they make you look cool.
Yeah, and they sound cool as well. Yeah. So like... Basically, composing is like I don't know, chord sequences, same sort of idea. You have your basic chord sequence, and then sometimes you have fills, which get you to do new things. So like this na 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 is almost like a fill for chords. Yeah, it's na 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 na. But it's almost like a fill in chords. And I assume tell me if I'm wrong. A big part of fills existing is to signal a change.
Yeah. Yeah, you're basically you tend to use them to link sections. So the verse or the chorus and stuff, or you just stick them in every 4 bars because you're a noob.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But this is exactly the same thing we're doing here. We're just having this regular let me grab a piano, like the piano rhythm of and so on. That's the chord, sorry. But you've just got this casual rhythm going on. It's like your casual drum beat. And then you go, I need to do something cool. I'm not going to attempt to play that because it's got lots of scary notes in it. But na, 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 na. It's like a fill, almost.
Yeah.
And that's all... Sorry, you first.
No, I was making noises.
Oh, cool. That's good. Noises are good. That's how we make music. And this is kind of the sort of idea that came with the trombone accompaniments. So one of the big standards of a singer's tune in jazz is, I think, Making Whoopee, which I'm not going to expect people to know. The only reason I know this is because I've played them in big band. Tunes like Making Whoopee are really good at this, where you have the singer gets to the end of a verse or whatever, and then instrumentation comes in with a little hit that's just keeps attention, almost interrupts the singer in a really cool way. So we've got this here with that little interruption is really useful for signaling the end of a part, making your trombonist happy, and just keeping up interest, because otherwise if it was the same pattern 4 times as it basically is without the trombones, you'd be so bored by the end of it.
Yes.
You would be so fucking bored.
Step 1 of making music, make all your instrumentalists happy.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I mean, that's not even a comment on the trombonist, that's a comment on the listeners as well. Because if you write the same thing 4 times, great, I've heard the same thing 4 times. It better be really good, because otherwise you're going to be bored by the second time. So that's why you have these interruptions, and they work like fills as well. Yeah. This is a big structural thing. You just have fills and generally increasing excitement and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I think that makes sense as a model.
Yeah, it certainly makes sense to me. I don't know about people in chat, but
yeah, it's about building intensity. In fact, at that point, what we'll do is we'll just talk about the arc of the piece.
Yeah.
Because I think that's important, and I will keep making drum analogies until I get one wrong. So, big start, the do da ba do ba 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 da da da. I see your smile, and then straight down. This is a really cool way to get excitement.
Yeah.
And it's just big intensity, suddenly small. Those huge changes, and I'm sure. So I don't know if they say this to drummers, but they say this a lot to brass players with dynamics. When you see a loud dynamic coming up, you go quiet specifically to make the change really, really obvious and really exciting.
And there's something like that in drum. Well, I know that for me, like personally, one of my big level up moments as a drummer was like actually like using dynamics.
Yeah.
Rather than just wailing on the drum kit all the time. Turns out like being quiet at points is actually good sometimes.
Yeah, because the quiet bits make the loud bits sound so cool.
Yes.
It's really great. So that's what we've got here at the start. We've got a loud bit, and then straight down to just, like in the recording, is just bass, the one hit, and the singer, which is great. It's also the technique it's used at the end. Oh, I didn't mean to hover over that. It's used at the end both in this and in The Villain I Appear to Be. In The Villain I Appear to Be the one that's like, I have to try. Oh, that was a bit flat, but whatever. Like where everything underneath it cuts out, and then the band comes back in. It's like, good shit.
Yes.
It's very good shit. But like, we have fairly quiet start. Everyone is mezzo piano, including the drummer. I'm sorry, drummer. You have to stay quiet for a bit. The singer's always loud because, come on, it's a singer's tune. Except when they can really afford it. This is probably where the credits music did it really well, and we'll talk about that because I love the credits music. I'm so proud of it. Not just because when it was performed, I was already like off a little bit of crying and like, I got to the end.
Yes.
I did it. But like, so
you are free, except you're not because we've got 2 more bonus streams coming.
Yeah, but we're free soon anyway. So like, quiet tune, little interruption that's like a little bit louder, back to quiet again, and then we get a bit louder because the trombones join in. So we now have this rhythm coming in. I stole that from Villain I Appear to Be again. I have the sheet music for it because I paid £20 on Bandcamp to buy it like a year ago, and I'm now feeling very smug about it because I was able to just look at it and get the ideas of how a singer's tune is written.
Oh, that's good, yeah.
Because I can read sheet music. Surprise.
Yeah. What are these dots?
But like, being able to look at that sheet music was impossibly useful because it meant I was able to go, oh, that's what they're doing behind there, and that's why it sounds energetic. This rhythm's really good, by the way, because that sort of is kind of offbeat. 1, 2, 3, 4, ba 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 ba. The fact that second beat anticipates the third beat, I think, means that it goes faster. It sounds like it's going faster. I'm sure it's the same in drumming.
Yeah, it is. It's like because your basic bitch drum beat. That's the technical term.
Yeah,
it's like the bass on like 1 and 2.
Yeah,
snare on 3 and 4. No, that's not right. Bass on 1 and 3, snare on 2 and 4, and hi hat throughout.
Boom, cat, boom,
and
cat,
then
and
then you can throw in like bass drum notes. So like anticipating 3 would be, it'd be like. It's something.
Yeah. No, but you're right. Anticipating notes is exactly what we do, and in fact, in the drum part, we do it a little bit here with this. Snare on 2, 2 and
2 and
2 and. So if I quickly bring you back.
So hey, it's what I was talking about in the actual thing. Oh wow, I'm a genius.
Is this the basic bitch? I mean, it is basically. That's
the jazz basic bitch drum beat.
Oh yeah, that's true. So if we just play it,
Although you don't have the ride cymbal, so it's not quite.
That's true. I was scared of using ride cymbals because I thought they'd sound crap synthesized. So I just generally
you're not wrong.
Cool. But yeah, it's that 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4 that really helps it move along, and the rhythm in the trombones does the same, and the rhythm in the piano. Everyone is on this rhythm. Because I don't know any other rhythms. No, it's because that was what worked.
It'd be like That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, and it works really well. It's a really basic thing, and it's a thing you can apply in any composition or in any jazz composition. Just the little anticipations on notes is a really cool trick. I love it. It's so good. It just works. You just boom cat. And you're like, ooh. Your ears are something like, ooh.
Wait until you hear about ghost notes.
Oh yeah, ghost notes. Hang on, let me turn on the light. There we go. I'm back. Ghost notes are great. I love a good ghost note. Very spooky.
Yeah, they have no body to go with.
Hey, Lamau. But yeah, we do more of that in C. So this is the second verse. It's just the trombones joining in, basically. Wayana. That's just a slight different rhythm change to make things sound nice. Like, you have composing, you have a basic idea, you sometimes put in some bonus ideas on the top because you can. Oh, there's someone at the door. Why is there someone at the door?
That sounds like someone's at the door.
Yeah, I'll be back in a moment. Fill up the space.
So, while Finnbar's away, hello. I am here, filling the space. Do we have anyone in chat? Don't know if we do. I'm just kind of talking at the microphone right now. I'm feeling hello. Yes.
What's my miss?
Nothing. Literally just me trying to fill space.
Oh my god, I've just seen the subtitles.
Lils is in chat. Yes. Hi, Lils.
Oh, bless. It's okay. It's a quiet. We said it would be a niche stream, and it really is. But I'm having fun.
Yes,
and if you're
I'm having fun. Yeah.
Excellent. So between us, that makes two of us. That's what matters. Cool. You said nothing. Cool. It's more of the same.
Yeah.
But like, you have the basic idea. You put in some nice spicy bits that you enjoy, and go, "Wow, it's a nice spicy bit that I enjoyed," and that's how you make music.
Yeah.
Same again. This was the device I talked about earlier, where we're going ooh, and we've also increased the dynamics. Look at me, I'm using dynamics.
Yeah, honestly, learning more than I did in my entire music GCSE.
Excellent.
So am I. Although, actually, to be fair, I didn't do music GCSE, so that would explain a lot.
I did music GCSE, and I learned a lot during this composition process, but I can still identify.
I think I was only in like 2/3 of like my year 7 to 8 music as well.
Oh, fair.
But
you did do a lot of music as a child anyway, it all adds up. Then we get onto the second section where everything kicks off. It's louder. The rhythms change slightly. Previously, we had the bap ba bap bap ba bap, but now we have bap bap bap. Yeah. So the last beat has changed to be on the to anticipate the next bar. Yeah. This is that's another drumming thing, isn't it? Yes, it's good, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
If this just becomes Scarlett and Finnbar go, wow, drumming's great, isn't it? Then honestly, I'm all for that.
Yeah, it's gonna be that'd be like 1, 2, damn it, 1, 2, 1.
Do you want me to get my cajon?
Possibly.
Just because otherwise it's not going to get picked up on the mic at all.
This is, once again, Scarlett waves her arms and chat can't see her.
Let me go get it for you. I'll be back in just a minute. Talk about your favourite tunes that have anticipations in them.
My favourite tunes that have anticipations in them?
Yeah. Seconds on the clock.
Right. So, like, So now I've got to think about like what songs I've actually played. I mean, there's like, I think Fuel has some like, that's boom da dum da da dum da dum da da. That one is Fuel by Metallica, has a solid drum set on it, and it's at like 100, 200 beats per minute or something. It's a fun time.
That's a very different. That's 100 and 200. Do you want brushes or do you want a drum direct? So I'll check mic levels whilst you do this.
We'll see.
But so anticipation.
It'll be like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's the
like
but tiki tack tati.
Yeah.
That's the anticipation, and that works really, really well.
Yeah, because tips for not just doing the basic bitch drum beat over and over again. Do the basic bitch drum beat, but put some eighth notes in weird places.
Yes, I mean, why do you call me out this way? That's basically how I compose half this. In fact, as an experiment, can you play like without anticipation and like 2 bars without and then 2 bars with or something?
2 bars without, 2 bars with.
Yeah.
Okay, so. No,
I mean, that's still kind of got the point across. Like you can tell, right?
Yeah.
Like after 2 bars, it's like doof doof. It's really nice. I know, obviously, it's not a full drum kit because it's literally my travel cajon, but it's
it's basically a full drum kit if you try hard enough. And like you can also make dubstep noises on it, like.
Yeah, sorry, it's a bit worn.
Yeah, no,
which
yeah,
means
it's not,
you're
it's
probably
not, yeah,
having a
not
bad
quite.
time with the...
Yeah, no, it's not like my like full-size cajon where you can get like the wub, like if you do it right.
Oh yeah, because it's got a proper bass to it. Well, this does not. It's too small. I might maybe I'll get a new one that's slightly bigger or something. Although that's more money that I shouldn't be spending. Anyway, welcome to Finnbar Does Anti-Accountancy, episode like 1 million. But yeah, we get to the second half of the song, and we've changed the rhythm, and we've made everything a bit louder, and the trombones are still here. They're having a good time. Bap 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 tick 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 bap 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 tick tick tick. It's great. And also, one thing I really like in this part is we have one full bar and then a really quiet bar. So I'm gonna play the crappy Muse score playthrough. So we had that bar of silence, and that was just a nice tonal, like change. It's a nice change. It's good change. Like, it's not that thrilling, it's not that thrilling when played by Muse score. It does sound a bit better on the actual recording, and even then it's not that thrilling, but it's still a cool little thing. I don't know what the fuck is that chord? It's B flat major sharp 5. Hooray!
Like B flat major sharp 5.
Oh no, sorry, minor. Sorry, B flat minor sharp 5. Oh, I love.
How is it both flat and sharp?
Because it's the bass is B flat minor.
Okay.
And then you take the fifth and you sharpen it.
Oh right, okay.
That's what the sharp 5 means. It means just taking the fifth and sharpening it.
Okay.
Whenever there's a number on the end, it basically means that you're adding on more notes than you expect.
Okay. Right.
So the common example is B flat 7, or like a 7 note, which is a lovely note to add. But then you can also add the 9.
Got some Game & Watch memes here. Sorry, that was a very niche joke.
And then you can even add like more awkward notes at this point. I don't know what this is. Oh no, it's that's a sharp 11. This is the point where you get into like crunchy jazz chords territory that I don't know that much about, but if you keep messing about with them, you'll get there. It's good. Same. Oh, is this the bit I really like? Yes, it is. Okay. Right. It's time to nerd out for just a moment.
I mean, that's what we're here for.
Picture the scene. You're me. I'm so sorry. No, it's fine. Hannah's not here. She can't bop me. So like, The tune I've just written is love is a war and you're all in it. You've got to get a date or drown. So like this is an awkward note because we have this E, but we're still in F minor, which is like what's going on here? And I need some way to get back into the key, because the next note of the tune is that G flat. Sorry. So da 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 da. They're like we're trying to get from to E to G flat, which is kind of awkward. So I do my favorite thing and go for the da 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 kind of motion because it's like ba 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 ba. Oh, it's like the point is. The trombones do this really cool I didn't mean to right click. Where they do this really cool motion where they have this chord, which is this. It's a C major, and then move stuff, and then we're gonna move this, and then we move this. And that means it's a very awkward way, and it took me a while to like work it out of getting from that to that. Because the top note, like the middle note of that chord goes from there to the G flat, and we're there. And how I do it is by making the bass trombone have a great fucking time. So let me just solo the 3 trombones. Boop, boop, boop. Da-na. So like ba 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 ba. It's the da ba ba ba. We make it there. Ba 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 ba
ba ba
ba ba ba ba. But like don't get me wrong. I couldn't explain to you music theoretically why this works, but It's got the note. It goes up chromatically. Keeps going up chromatically. We made it. It's just, we made it. And like everything else around it supports that. So they've got, the first trombone has ba, 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 ba again. And the second trombone has whatever's going on here. That's basically just help. I need some support that's not the same note again. So that's, oh, that's why. I'll explain that in just a minute. So like, what we have is, so that's the first and second trombone parts, and then we move this up a bit. Then to make it sound like we're moving up, because we have four of these notes to fill rather than 3. Yeah. But I don't want to go ba 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 because I then miss the note. I'm looking for this note, but I end up the mixer is covering the notes. That's not very helpful. So I could go ba ba ba, but then like. First of all, we'll have to sing the thing again, and I missed the note that I was looking to get to. So to make it sound like there's a motion, we've got the second note move instead. So that motion, and then we move the top line up a note, and then surprise fuckers, we're moving this bottom note up to make it still sound like it's going up. I beats the note, but then we get to there, and that's the note we're looking for, and we're back in the key. Because that's, of course, an A flat 7 add 6 over F. What the fuck is that? What is that?
I mean, I'm glad that you're confused as well.
What is that? Because, like...
now we're both confused.
Like, actually, like, I think it's easier than that. I think the software's panicking, because what we have is we have F minor, and then we add the 7, and then we add the 9, but instead it's going for some completely different chord. So really, I think this should be... Oh, that's why the 9 is flattened, and that's why it's panicking.
Oh, right. It's not the 9, it's the one next to the 9.
It's the sharp 9, but like I don't think people normally write that, so instead it's going for panic chord.
Yeah.
The point is, you add some more notes and it sounds more jazz. The more notes it is, the more notes you have, the more jazz it is. That's just a true statement.
Yes.
Charles Cornell, don't at me. Music YouTuber, very, very good at these kinds of videos. Very good, but... Like, I just botched just knocked this out and it managed to work. And I was like, wow, it works. Amazing. I'll stick with this. I think I wrote the trombone parts before the piano parts and basically made the piano parts mimic what the trombones are doing, except with that G for some reason. There's a G! Amazing! It's a C chord. Isn't that lovely?
Hey, it's a chord I recognise.
But I think the idea behind this was the ba 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 ba, which ba 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 ba. It's just I'm very proud of that idea because it's the kind of bass trombone part I love to play myself. So when I got to record it, I was like, shit, this is hard. But also, yeah, when I got there, and then like the
trombone going down and up.
Oh, it's great. More of the same, basically. But like the bass trombone here providing a little more motion because like the more complicated you make your bass, the more exciting it sounds, right? Yeah. It's like notably in this whole piece, the acoustic bass, like the upright bass, has just been like boom, 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 and it's having probably a mediocre time. While meanwhile, the bass trombonist is having an absolute blast, going bop ba dum bop ba dum ba dum bop. It's like it's great.
So so like with the rest of the piece, like how do you like? Well, I'm guessing like you might be coming up to this, but like how do you like approach the bass line?
How do I approach bass lines?
Yeah,
I have a really crap answer for that, which I will give in just a moment because I'll just do the rest of the structure. Spoken bit. This exists because I couldn't work out what chord to put here, so I put no chord.
Yeah. I mean, it works.
Yeah, I'm really proud of it as a spoken bit. This is your captain speaking. It's such a great little line on a cruise ship. And I'm here cracking the whip in Monsters on a Cruise Ship. There's that silence trick where you have the amazing bit for the singer just with nothing, and then everyone comes back in, fortissimo, fortes, all that sort of stuff, bum 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 bum, and just having a great time, and that final ba-da-ba-da-bow. Now to your question. Bass lines, gotta be honest, improvise them most of the time.
Oh.
I'm a bass trombonist, so I'm very good at going bom 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 ba-dum bom ba-dum bom bom ba-dum ba-da-ba-dum, and so on. To give a more serious and helpful answer, actually, the acoustic bass is a good example of this. The acoustic bass is a good example of this. The acoustic bass is a good example of this. The acoustic bass is a good example of this. The acoustic bass is a good example of this. The acoustic bass is a good example of this. The acoustic bass is a good example of this. The acoustic bass is a good example of this. The acoustic bass is a good example of this. The acoustic bass is a good example of this. The acoustic bass is a good example of this. The acoustic bass is a good example of this. The acoustic bass is a good example of this. The acoustic bass is a good example of this. The acoustic bass is a good example of this. The acoustic bass is a good example of this. The acoustic bass is a good example of this. The acoustic bass is a good example of this. The acoustic bass is a good example of this. The acoustic bass is a good example of this. The acoustic bass is a good example of this. The acoustic bass is a good example of this. The acoustic bass is a good example of this. The acoustic bass is a good example of this. The acoustic bass is a good example of this. The acoustic bass is a good So I think there are two techniques you can usually apply to writing a bass line. In jazz particularly, I don't know how this translates to other genres, but I will go with the jazz one and hopefully at least give some ideas.
Yeah.
One, walking bass line, you go down the scale. Sometimes you go up the scale. Yeah, I know. So like here we've got that do 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 do. So like, that's the other way of doing it. The other way is to spell out the chord. So for example, in this, first two bars here, we've got this D flat chord, and we just walk down the D flat scale and then up it a little bit, except we have this cheeky E natural that's signaling what's in the next bar.
Ooh.
So like, if you've got some weird note that's coming up, having it on the final beat before that chord comes in is a really nice trick for making it slightly more seamless.
Okay, that's it.
So the boo 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 boo. So we have that lovely da 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 motion, because one of the when writing chords, but also this applies to bass lines, if you're going to have a big chord change and you want it to be fairly seamless, you want the notes just before the note just before it and the first note to be close. So here we have that do do, which works really well. But if I were to like go bo bo, then it would be really noticeable.
Yeah.
You do it in chords as well. So like having the top line be similar. So you got that F to E motion here as well, which really helps. The other thing you can make your bass line do is spell out the chord. So here we've got a bo 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 bo, which spells out the E and the B flat of the above chord.
Yeah.
So if you have a chord and you go, let's say you had a C major chord, so we're going like, we want a bass line for C major, you might go like, sure, that's fine. Or you might go, and then like, if you wanted to change, maybe we're going to go, let's go from C major to F major, which is the most common motion in music. Maybe it's in like the top 5.
Yeah.
So you might go like, because you're going from C to F, and you could hear that because the walking like focus on those chords, or you could make it play out the notes of that chord. So like and that motion is really nice there because it's close. Said before, so that was a bit of a big jump, but you could do it a bit more spicily. In general, if you're doing stuff like that, you want the most important note of the chord on the first beat.
Right, yeah.
Because that makes it really clear
the root note.
Yes, right? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the root. That's exactly it. Yes. You want the root note to be really clear.
Yeah.
Because that's the bit that people are going to hear, especially in a bass where you're meant to be making the bottom bit of the thing happen. Like, you want the bass to come out first.
Yeah.
So, like, for example, this D flat over A flat completely breaks it because we start on the D flat, even though the chord is, but for some reason we start there. Don't ask me. I probably just wrote it wrong. But like the next example is better because it's this weird E diminished 7 thing. So it's, but the bass line is ba 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 ba. In fact, I've got enough notes. Why don't I just do like, I'm gonna take this down an octave. Oh no, because it won't appear on screen. So we've got B flat. Like it can't. Okay, that's not a very good example. But the point is, the first note should be emphasizing the most important note of your chord. And then you can use the bass line to either emphasize the chord by playing the notes within it, or just walking. I think, in fact, what would be good here is, let me open up the Professor Layton one, because I think, if I remember correctly, the Professor Playton's theme. If I remember correctly, the bass does the bass line does something different, but it still does the same kind of thing. So okay. This one has all the chords written in. The reason it has the chords written in for twofold. One, I'm not very good at melodica, so I wrote out all the notes so I could play them. 2, because the chord progression is partially stolen. Because I wanted that Professor Layton-like sound, so I did the only thing I knew how to do and ask on Tups what what Professor Layton sounds are like, and it was inconclusive, so I stole something.
Yeah.
So that's good, but the bass line here. Up we go. Can I solo the acoustic bass? So that emphasizes the chords. Boom, 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 boom. Except we've gone here for the bigger jumps to make it more obvious. So, boom, 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 boom. That was a nice one because we changed chord midway through from going that. So the bass line changes. It's following the chords.
Oh right, yeah.
So I guess that's my slightly underwhelming answer to how bass lines are formed.
It makes sense. Oh, John's here. Hello, John.
Hello, John. But bass lines, I either make them sound like the chord or I end up improvising them and then try to work out stuff from it. Most of my composition is basically improvising one part and then trying to work out the rest of it from it.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Which I think works. It's a bit of a crap answer because somebody goes, how'd you get that first part? And I go, inspiration!
Yeah.
Just do really good role-playing in D&D and you'll get a part or something.
Just sing a tune, write some lyrics to it, and then realise that you stole the tune from somewhere.
Exactly. It's that easy.
Yeah.
And then transpose it down 2 times and then, haha, it's a different tune now. Get dunked on, Warner Bros.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a bit of a crap answer, but it's the one I give in that, either improvised or follows the chords.
Yeah.
So I guess the challenge is find a melody and then build some chords around it. It's buffering really badly. Oh, okay. That's why. I thought it was a bad thing on my end, but no, it's just John's is on crap Wi-Fi.
It's good. Yeah, it's good to know that it's not a NAS issue.
Yeah, we've got 0 dropped frames.
Okay.
If you plug in directly, the internet on this the internet here is really good.
Yeah.
If you don't plug in directly, it's a bit less.
Yeah.
good.
Well, yeah, I've had no problems. But
Good.
Yeah.
And you've been half plugged in. Oh my god, it's 7:20 already. Jesus. Okay, let's keep going. So in either you think of a melody and then put some chords to it. There are chords you can pick from. So as we discussed, that's those are all chords that fit with the key, which is good. You might end up adding nice things to the chord or just trying out other things, but it means you have a bunch of chords to pick from. You can try out, you go, oh, that sounds good, and then go for it. If your melody ends up having a weird note in it, then you can have your chord reflect that. So with the trick earlier with Monster on a Cruise Ship, actually there's the da 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 da. That's a weird note, so good news, there's weird notes in the chords.
Ooh.
So
That's very fancy.
So you have chords to work with, and then you go, oh, I want I've lost my train of thought. You have chords that you can work with, you have a melody, you can go, oh, this chord works well with the melody here, and then this chord, and then this chord, and then so on. And that's a way to compose a chord progression, just sort of trying it out with a melody, and then bass line will form from that through the techniques we've mentioned. So so on. And that's a way that you can get a bass line, and then everything else just kind of forms from that and playing around with that. I think, don't get me wrong, this isn't a magical composing recipe book, but it ain't a bad start.
I mean, yeah, no, it certainly makes me more makes me feel like I want to do stuff more. So that's
a success then. Yeah. That's the biggest success. In the end, you have inspiration for some bits, and then the rest of the bits just sort of come from it. You fill in hang on, fill in's a really bad word because I was about to use the word fills. You fill in like the basic bits, add in your fills, whether that be literal drum fills or like cool melody bits or like spicy chords or whatever, and just be like, and that's a piece, kind of.
Yeah.
Sure, there's like then lots of bits you have to sort of clean up, but like composing is not. It's very hard, but it's not like impossible. You don't. In fact, this is where I name drop a really good source, although I can't remember the names. That's a good start for name dropping. There's a video I watched, right? It was by a music theory YouTuber. I can't remember which one, and it was called "How Much Music Theory Do You Need to Compose?" The answer is basically none. Music theory is a tool to make your life easier. It's not like a barrier to composition.
Right. Okay.
Like, even if you know no music theory, you can just hit notes on the keyboard, and eventually you might be like, "Oh, that's quite nice." Don't know what chords it decides.
I know, but we maybe need to be calling Raylan again.
It's an E flat sus 2. Do I know what an E flat sus 2 is? Well, if you gave me some time, yeah, probably. But like, I didn't use music theory to deduce that. I just hit some notes on the keyboard, and it was okay. You don't need to be some expert in music theory to compose. That was the big takeaway message from the video. Try some notes, see what happens. Yeah. There are lots of scary words, and like actually, these words here, this is the main theme again. These words here were added on way after the fact because I thought a couple nights ago, maybe I can make some excellent music theory point here, and let's work out what these chords are. Spoiler alert, I've got no clue. There's just some letters and numbers here. They spell out the chords correctly, but what do they mean together? I don't know. Right, there's a D flat and there's an E. B flat, A flat, G. Okay, that's quite nice. So like B flat, A flat, G, you're descending. Yeah. This is good.
Go down.
But I can't tell you what that means musically. All I know is I just tried out these notes and they worked. And it took some time, but like you can do that. Yeah. You just have to try it and see what happens. Like it takes time, and like we have tools to guide us. So we have picking the notes from the key in general. We have common chords. So like the ones I keep playing. We have the trick that was, in fact, I never introduced the trick using Professor Playton, is that the chords just keep going down. So you've got F minor, E flat, D flat, C minor, B flat, A flat, and then some extra stuff at the end. But the point is, you can use that as a technique to sort of inform your chords. Like da 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 da. Yeah, like going down and up is a really nice technique for that because it sounds smooth and nice and cool. Jazz. Nice. But yeah, I guess that's most of what I've got to say about composing, really. Like melodies, chords. I've got to be like, as I've said, I don't think this is super helpful for me to say because, like I say, it's easy, you just make up the thing, or here are some techniques. It's sort of been like a mess of techniques I've just talked about. But hopefully there's something in there that can be taken and used in something cool.
I mean, yeah, definitely. Like, obviously I've had my own ideas for songs.
Yeah.
If they have been goblin focused for reasons.
I mean, that's good.
Yeah. So like hearing at least some kind of you can do this, where like my basic approach to this point have been I know how to drums, and then I monkey around with samples and some notes, which varies in its efficacy.
Yeah, that's a word.
Yes.
Yeah.
Having a thing of like, well, here are some things that you can do. That means you're not just like
monkeying around.
Yeah.
Like setting the key, having some like playing around with the common chords in that key, literally just by making triads out of the notes in that scale. That's what they're called because 1, 3, and 5. It's a triad. Cool.
And if you score it in a rugby game, it's a triad.
For fuck's sake. But like, yeah, just mess around some chords. Bass lines follow the chord structure because that's their job. Their job is to enforce the bass in a chord. Drums, you know how to write drums. I trust your drums more than my own. Like, I think this is mostly taken from, like, as a Professor Layton style thing as well. Chunk, chunk, chung, chung, chat, chat. It's following the bass's rhythm. That's another good trick. If you've got lots of instruments, unison rhythms are more than okay. You don't have to make things deep and complex and muddy. Yeah. Just, you have a good rhythm, use it. If you have like a good little counter rhythm or like ghost notes, as you were talking about, they're fantastic because they anticipate, as you said, and they're cool and exciting. And you talked about the stuff you enjoyed in with anticipations in it. Yeah. Even though I missed it because I was upstairs.
Yeah, and to be fair, it was mostly me thinking about the songs that I've played.
I mean, that's fair, isn't it? Because that's still like, that's what you enjoy. Yeah. That's it. Right, what is there to say about this one while we're here? This is the one with the melodica, which meant I had a fun time trying to play the melodica. I can play the melodica, except when I write myself stupid shit like I did in this.
Yes, I believe this was screenshotted with a message along the lines of "send help."
Yes. So like, so the first thing, here's a fun fact. So this was before episode 5. I did not have access to my tenor trombone. I had access only to my bass trombone. Why the fuck did I write myself a top C? Why did I do that? I could, like, in the recording you can hear it's half-hearted, and like it certainly felt half-hearted while playing it. Like ba 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 da da ba ba da da. Like, don't get me wrong, cool tune. I enjoy it immensely. Let's. Oh, I forgot to unmute. You silly bean. There we go. Back down you go, like the... we get to hear crap music, although it's actually better in this context. And then the accordion comes in with the same line. Oh, the genius! Until I get here, and then write this shit. And then this shit! The ending's great. I'm really happy with the ending. Like, bom bom. Da-na-na-na. And then the chords come in. Except it still sounds shit because it's Muse score. But like, it's still got the thing in and the bass, and like, it's mysterious. And then the chord ends, and it's a lovely, I think it's an F minor, because I think this tune might also be an F minor, because apparently I didn't know any other key except for F minor that month. But like, it's cool. I really like the ending. I'm very proud of it.
It's very good.
It's mysterious and cool, and it's like, whoa.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of like the Poirot theme, like this kind of like mystery solving type thing.
Yeah, it's very prevalent in Professor Layton themes. So when I looked, before every composition, I looked for songs that sounded similar and listened to them and went, wow, this is what they're doing. That's cool. So the two I listened to for this are the Professor Layton, the one with the time machine, Unwound Future. I think it might be called in America.
Yeah. Is it like the Curious Village or something?
No, that's I think that's the very first one. There's one with a time machine specifically. Anyway, the one with the time machine, which is an absolute bop.
We know Professor Layton games.
We do. Like, the one with the time machine is crazy because, like, I don't know how recently you've heard it, and I won't play it because copyright, but, like, it alternates between, like, the sort of jazzy thing that you expect and string quartet. Like... It's seamless. It's absolutely crazy. I didn't get to use any of that because I don't play any string instruments and they would sound shit on synthesized, so therefore they failed the test I had introduced way at the start. But like, yeah, it's so cool. And then the Lady Layton theme was the other one I used, which is absolutely beautiful. How's it go? Hang on. So like, because this has got the downward structure as well. I can't remember what the first chord is. Something like that. I'd have to look it up because I think I've got the chords. Wait, no, hang on. This is the one I stole the chord structure from. I could just copy from here. Was it F minor first? No, wait. I've got this is the B section where I did actually write my own chord structure. Oh yeah, because it's got that lovely 9 feeling. It's really nice. So the Layton thing. And then... Oh, ba, 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 ba. And then it just keeps going down, but I've run out of notes at this point. Oh, actually, I could just put it down the octave. And then we go to the B flat. And then it goes to the really awkward chord, which is like a D diminished or something. There we go. It's such a lovely tune, and I'm very surprised I remembered all that, to be honest. But it's a really great tune, and I stole the chord sequence from it because I'm evil. As I said, vibes, which is like improvising and going, oh, that sounds nice. Crime, stealing everything. And music theory, sometimes working out what notes sound nice from keys and stuff to like fill in the gaps. 3-step composition process. Cool. I don't know what else. Oh, should we look at the goose theme?
Oh, yes, let's look at the goose theme.
Right, so...
I like the goose theme.
Here's first thing to say about the goose theme. It's got full lyrics in the sheet, and as a result, it looks like the most professional piece of sheet music I've ever written, and yet it's about a goose. So if I just casually scroll like, ha, 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 there we go, snare coming in. Recorded that on the cajon, of course. Yeah. I'm so proud of this. I don't think I can emphasize like there's a goose on the loose, he has a knife. But then my lyrical genius here of will he stab me sung I need to do it with the chord cast. Will he stab me sung by the top singer, and then the other two singers go, yeah, he'll stab you. he'll stab you.
Yeah, it's like when you like posted like screenshots of like the sheet music, I was like, oh my gosh, that it does that. That's so cool. I'm so proud of that little bit. So how I wrote this was back in my childhood, I was in a choir, and I really liked like these sorts of 3-part harmonies, and I wrote quite a few of them, not for singers, just for my own benefit on like a little tracker program. It's like, oh, that sounds nice, I'm very happy with that, time to put that away. Yeah, I wrote a thing, I can go home now.
Yeah, basically. I think how I approached this was basically write a top line or a middle line, like write one of the top 2 lines, put a bass in it that sort of fits with the notes there, like basically arbitrarily choosing a bass, and then make the other line fit it. One big trait that these sorts of pieces have is that, with the exception of the bass, which is allowed to do whatever the fuck it wants, generally you should not be jumping around much in the top lines. Which really helps, because that helps you that limits the chords you can choose. So like we've got this, there's a goose on the loose, and there's a goose on the loose, like so da da da. Oh, hang on, and then so I was just going for a triad. Oh, it's C, sorry. But then in the bass we actually have this. So like that's the first chord that we went with. Guess what? It's F minor, baby.
Just the title of the stream. Guess what? It's
F minor, baby. I might actually put that as the title of the VOD. So like, and then like also a cool trick is to move as few voices as possible. So confusingly, and I don't know why I did this, but we go C F in the baritone, but then in the bass we go F C. In a sensible world, this would be FF and CC, because, like, why would you get the singer to move? But I was a fool, so here we are. And then spelling out a new chord because I wanted an A here, and we had this C, or, like, I don't really know how to describe this, to be honest, so, like... and then... oh, yeah. I think my approach was much less about filling out full chords and doing like the function of chords, and I will explain that. Triads, they're cool, they're good. Oh wait, sorry, we're in F minor, so I'm legally required to do this instead. But also like a couple of traits from choral music. The sharpened 7, so we're in F minor. If we put in that note, it's got a really lovely sound to it, because it sounds like it wants to resolve to the top note, because it's so close, and that's a really great technique to use. So we use it here, da na na. Except we surprise because we use it as a chromatic passing note. I think that's what it's called. Like ma na na ba da 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 da. That was not in tune, that last note, but like
it's okay.
Cool passing notes are a really nice technique. There are lots of E naturals in this piece because of that. There's a spicy D natural there for some reason. I don't know what. There's just I just had a musical idea and it worked, so we're just gonna go with it. Sometimes you stick in sharps and it's lovely.
Sometimes, as Todd Howard said, it just works.
Exactly, it just works. Another cool technique that choral music is the suspended chords. Suspended chords are absolute gold dust. So what they do is they take the major and then cheekily take that third and go up a semitone.
Yeah. And now it is sus.
Yeah, and then it resolves. This is really, really popular in hymns. Really popular. Because you go, Amen.
Oh.
Men, yes. But like it's a really good technique for making the listener want to hear it resolve, basically. So you hear this and you go, ooh, and then it resolves and it's a release. Like one bit, I think something that composers talk about a lot, or I guess music theorists, is sort of like making things release. It's like tension, release. And you'd also do it with like awkward chords, like maybe, I don't know. Like, there's lots of different ways you can resolve tension and that sort of thing. But there's a big thing they talk about is tension, where a chord is kind of off key or off feel or just weird, and then resolving to the nice one.
Yeah.
One of the things I did learn about, and I can actually talk about, are cadences.
Cadences.
So cadences in jazz, no fucking clue. But cadences in choral music, I can talk about. Cadences are... There's a good Tom Cardy video where he... I say video, it's like a short joke, basically, where he's like, if you don't have a cadence, you'll have an unsatisfied... People will be unsatisfied with your ending. And then he plays the Game of Thrones theme, because that's something where somebody was unsatisfied with an ending. Anyway!
Ayo.
But there's like a couple of cadences that work really well in choral music. The first one is called a Plagal Cadence, where you go 4, 1. It just sounds nice. So like,
So like 4 is like the number of things across.
That's right. Yeah. Sorry, I never mentioned that. So if we're in the key of C, this first chord is sometimes called 1.
Yeah.
And then the next chord up is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Numbers.
Yeah.
It turns out numbers are used outside of like discrete maths degrees. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, well, I didn't expect to be ambushed by numbers at this hour.
Surprise! It's number time. Number o'clock. But yeah, a Plagal Cadence is where you take the 4 and you go down to the 1. Sometimes you do like, because that's more the notes move less.
Oh right, yeah.
Because instead of having this C jump to the C to G in, so you have. Let me try again. This.
So is that just
C, G.
You've taken the notes and like moved them down a notch?
That's right. Yeah. It's called. Oh God, what is it called? I know this. No, I don't. It's moving the chords around. So like this is still an F major chord. Just we move the C from here. C down to here.
Oh right, yeah.
And then this is still a C major chord, but you could also have like the G at the bottom, and that'd still be a C major chord, or the E at the bottom. Oh, what? What?
No, that's
what?
Wait, no, it's C major.
It's
oh no, it's C, E, and wait.
Is E, C? What? I think this.
What have you done?
Software's balked. Moving on.
Software's balked.
But like Plagal cadences are really common. The other one's a perfect cadence, which is 5 to C. Lovely. And then there's the spicy imperfect cadence where you go from 1 to 5, and that sounds like you're not done yet. The Plagal's really common in choir music. Perfect is really common in anything where somebody hasn't got a better idea. And imperfect is like halfway through a song when you're like, oh, I want to sound like I'm done. Psych, Lamau. But yeah, cadences, they exist. I don't know that much about them, but there's 3 examples I learned from my grade 5 theory exam that you're mandated to take when you want to do grade 5 trombone or like any instrument.
Imagine having to do theory exams. This is brought to you by the percussion gang.
Oh, I'd forgotten about this bit. How will we win? Has ground. He will defeat us. I think I just basically got carried away with the melody line and then filled in everything else and went, it'll do. And it did do, because this is probably the best piece I composed. I don't really know what's going on with this. I don't have a good answer. Sometimes you just try and build... Oh, gosh. This is the part where I wrote notes that were too high for myself.
Oh yes. The foretold yellow notes.
Yes, if there's a yellow note in muse score, it's too high or too low. If there's a red note, it's definitely too high or too low. Oh yes, this is the one thing I don't like about the recording I did for this is the word angels doesn't really come through. So you don't hear the beautiful lyricism of angels, I see them, they are calling me, prepare the funeral. Oh god, Aries heard me sing prepare the funeral so many fucking times when I was recording this because it's I'm going to attempt it exactly once and then give up. Let's go from like here. Agus, angels. Like I think that's the note. Oh god. I see them. They are calling me. And then prepare the funeral. Something like that. And it's just like I can't hear
that's higher than I can do, so like...
Yeah, but it sounds weak as all shit. It sounds better on the recording because I practiced it like 50 times. And as I said, Aries probably heard me saying prepare the funeral upstairs so many times it's not funny. Tell my family I love them. Some lyrical gems in this piece. Some people might ask, how did you do the lyrics? Answer, I did creative writing when I was a kid and thus no words sometimes.
Yeah. Honestly, lyrics just kind of fall out of your brain.
Yeah,
and then
that's entirely right.
Maybe you get a rhyming dictionary.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you just get ideas pop into your head like roses are red, violets are blue, ome wamo shindu.
Is that for the anime song?
Maybe.
But yeah, I don't really have much to say about this other than it's lyrical and musical genius, and I do not know how to reproduce it, and that makes me sad. I think the only other one to talk about is the credits music, which I will talk about briefly just because I'm aware of the time and do want to talk about mastering for like 5 minutes.
Okay, yeah.
The bit of thievery I did for this one was ba 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 da ba 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 da ba, which is the like part of the tune for the trombones, but not the da da afterwards. That is from the Crusaders' Street Life, which is a funk tune I played in big band. And every time I play it, because I'm on a bass trombone and I'm legally required to play low notes, I take it down an octave the second time round, and it's just like ba 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 da ba. Just like, yes, I am the winner. What is there to say about this? So chord structures wise, you might notice that the chords are significantly spicier than they have been in previous renditions.
Yeah, that's a lot more dots.
There are a lot more dots. The simple answer to this is that these kinds of electric pianos really serve well to do with dissonance. Like they do a really lovely job of it. So for example, the actual chord in here is literally just an F minor chord because that's what's legal.
Chord, yeah.
But we've added an E flat to it, so it's F minor 7 over E flat, and then we add the F in the bass. So we're just adding extra notes that like aid with the chord. Similarly, the next chord along is a B flat minor 7, I think. Yeah, it's a B flat minor 7. So you're just taking the like normal chord and going, psych, more notes, because they sound really good on this keyboard.
Yeah, just add notes.
Yeah, right? Like genuinely, as I said, the more notes you add, the more jazz it is. There's lots of notes going on here. The bass line is a fucking banger. Like, let's solo out the bass line because I don't think you can hear it so well in the recording. This one. So. So like, to go with the description from earlier, this is putting out the notes of the chord. So this is the F minor again, F, C, F, 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 and then this little lead in E flat, E F. So ba-da-da, And then that little ba-ba-ba is a lovely, like, those sorts of things are a really nice technique for basses. That little chromatic ba-da-ba, like, into the note that you're going for. It just sounds cool. I don't think it necessarily makes amazing sense music theory like, but chromaticisms are great. I think that's a word. But that's what's going on in the bass line. Just trombones doing their shit. The bass, so the scale of, like, to give a very brief overview of this, big section, small section, like, we've got the vocals coming in. This isn't a singer's tune in the same way, so we can interrupt the vocals, but we don't. We just have this nice backing of, like, the keys. Let's solo out the keys. Like, just doing that. It's like, in fact, the chord sequence is really simple here. It's that F minor, and then an E flat, and then an F, E flat. Oh no, that's like a B flat, sorry. F, E flat, F, G. It kind of goes weird. And then it's just that. That's it. That's the whole chord sequence for this tune. That's all you need. Oh, and then we get into the solo section. So, fun fact, the trombones you hear on the recording in the middle section before the amazing keys bit, entirely improvised.
Yeah, those are the lines of just make shit up.
Yep, that's exactly it. Yeah. These are the make shit up lines.
From my limited experience of, like, orchestral drum pieces, they use the make shit up lines a lot.
It's good, isn't it? But, like, the chord sequence is another descending one using that same technique from Leighton. So going ba 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 and so on. Except we do some slightly spicy stuff. So we're going F minor, E flat, cheeky, like, E diminished 7. So the E diminished 7 sounds terrifying, but all the E diminished 7 is doing is taking the previous chord, that flat. Oh, hang on, it's in the way. Bye bye. So E flat minor, and then if you take why do you not support my point? If you take the E flat,
can we
like, what is this? No. But, like, what this is actually, it's an E diminished.
Oh, right.
So diminished chord is take the minor chord, take a fink down a semitone, which is great. I have a horrible feeling that I've actually got this wrong and the software's... Oh, I've got it wrong and the software's right. Okay, so all I did was I took the existing chord and then took this up. Oh, actually, that does work. Yeah, I got it right. Like, I just went... And then put the bass note up a semitone and you get, like, a new chord, and that's good. That's just a nice thing to flavour it a little bit. It's like a spicy E diminished.
Like a little bit of paprika in your
music. A little bit of paprika in your music. So E flat, E diminished, which is basically the E flat but bonus bit, D flat, C-ish, but it's kind of a bit weird, and then we go back again. E flat, E, D flat, C again, but it's a bit weird. And now we change because I wanted to change. So what I did was, I've got to be honest, how this formed is I accidentally put in one of the earlier chords in wrong. It sounded really good and I copied it to later and then used it here, which is this D flat minor 6. I've got to be honest, I don't know what a D flat minor 6 is and how, like, why it sounds good, but it sounds great.
D flat minor and then you add 6, right?
Yeah.
This is what I have learned from this stream.
Yeah. Because that sounds like, as I said, this sort of instrument really plays well with dissonance and weird extensions. It's why it's used in a lot of funk. And yeah, I have a great time with that.
Yeah,
it's great. But yeah, we go that again. And now this time we're going up to spice it up a bit, because here are the two things you can do with chords: go down or go up. You can, I guess, stay the same, but that's boring. And we do the same. This is the same again. And now, okay. So, simple, honest thing that happened with this. I wrote this when procrastinating my final report. It's the best bit of composition, like the best, like, subsection of a composition in the whole of Monsters, because it makes my heart sing, because it's so beautiful. Like, I have no idea what the names are doing, just to confirm. Like, so to pause it, like, so this all of the chord names I wrote on afterwards, and the point I was trying to make with this is, what the fuck is music theory? Yeah. Because I don't know what any of these are. Help me. What is this?
I just noticed that.
The F minor +4 +9 over G. Let's see what the software has to say about it. So this is the F... Oh!
F mad. You have angered the software.
I've angered the software. It's F mad. Why does it say there's a G in there? Anyway,
F
so
it's
like an F minor but with a sad note. But that's not the point. The point is, like, I kind of composed this
F minor add 4. That makes sense.
It's not just mad, but that's funnier. Like, what's happening here, or what's like, I just sort of wrote this a bit like the 3-part harmony, except with 4 parts and a bass, and I didn't really know what I was doing, but holy fuck, the result sounds amazing. I think the simple answer is I started off with something nice, and then just added the sorts of things that I hear in parts that do this, and then wow. This bit's particularly good because it's the same technique I've been banging on this whole time about doing da na 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 na, going up. Like, sometimes you just have to make your like melody line go up and have the notes that support that, and then you get this. Oh, my heart! So, like, another thing that this does really well is you can see the dynamics are suddenly piano, which is cool. But we also cut out the bass entirely. We just delete the bottom line, and it makes it's like this sort of relief thing of angry bass and la. It's really nice. Like, I'm not expecting anyone to get anything from this bit, like from me talking about this bit, because it's basically me going, wow, it's great, but I am so fucking proud of like those 6 bars.
Like, this is what we're really here for.
Yeah, like so like from the start, bum, bum, this bit, doo, 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 it's like, na, 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 and the bass goes boo, boo, boo. It's so cool.
Yeah.
And then we're back into this, and then we're back into the rhythm from before. We managed to go back into it. I don't know how I did it. Actually, I do know a bit how I did it, because one of the benefits you get here is because we're repeating, I know what this chord is from before, because we've written it like 30 bars ago or whatever. So I know what I'm aiming for, which means I could do this ba na 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 na. Chromaticisms, they're great. Just everything chromatic, except for like, don't do like that. Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, we learned early on from playing around with keyboards that you don't do that.
Yes, like just have a couple voices with it. Maybe one that's so sometimes I manage to make a voice that goes upwards at the same as the rest of the time, same time as the rest of the voice is going downwards, and you're like, ooh, like because the bottom voice is going down, the bottom voice is going up, and the top voice is going down, and it just really works. And then the rest of it is fine. The bass trombone joins in with the melody, which the beat, which the bass line, which is cool. The bass player has a great time near the end, and then at the end, and that's the credit song. And that's I think everything I have to say about composing from Monsters on a Cruise Ship. Yeah, it's a lot.
It is.
It's a lot of unstructured ideas.
Yeah, it's just I guess like it's the most interesting for me is like I've had like these unstructured ideas because I'm in the awkward spot of like knowing a tiny bit about music, but that tiny bit being fuck all in the grand scheme of things. Sure. So it's like having those unstructured ideas, but like piecing them together.
Yeah.
But, like I think that.
Like, in the end, it's practice.
Yeah.
I can tell you for days about, like, chromatic notes and, chords. Oh, I actually came to a good chord.
Hey!
I did it! It's a B flat! Like, I can tell you about all that stuff for days, but it's no substitute from just trying to assemble something and see how it goes. And I think that's what surprised me the most about composing all of this. I just tried stuff. And like eventually it made sense, and it was real, and it like pieced together into something genuinely like I'm genuinely proud of. it's a shame I can't show my parents because I don't want them to hear me singing about having a monster time, to be honest. Or my attempts at playing the melodica, or singing about... I have complicated feelings about it. Although the geese thing I'd probably feel fine sharing. The Monsters on a Cruise Ship theme, I don't want to share that, given it's basically monster simping the song. Like, I don't want to put it like that, but I see your smile from the other side of the ballroom. The glint in your teeth is so sublime. Like, don't get me wrong, perfect lyrics for the show, but I still would feel like sharing it. But yeah, I think hopefully there's a lot of cool and interesting ideas, and like, to be honest, what I hope people got from this is hearing me excitedly talk about music for 2 hours.
Yes.
Whether this
is what we're here for.
Yeah, like, you just got to hear me go, "Ooh, look at this, look at that." Chords. What was that?
That was a G flat 7.
So G flat, G flat 7 over D. So what the slash means is the bass note is a D flat.
Oh, right.
Which is cool because it makes chords like these different to these.
Oh, right.
You can see that the C's at the bottom, and that's helpful. But anyway, like, you got to hear me talk excitedly about music for 2 hours. We'll do a tiny bit about mastering because we started late, but like 10 minutes, just because I do want to talk about EQs and shit. But yeah, I think hopefully that satiates people's wants for hearing about compositions and just like me talking. Oh, actually, I have one final thing. Music theory YouTubers, the ones who just sort of get excited over a song, are really good for this. My favourite example currently is Charles Cornell. Let me see if I can bring him up. YouTube, Charles Cornell. There he is. No, I don't want his age. I just want, like... So he's made piano memes and stupid arrangements of, like, Happy Birthday and stuff. But also...
It's been in my recommendations.
He talks a lot about, like, how songs work. Like, this one's really good. I really like this video of him reacting to Skate by Anderson .Paak and Bruno Mars. Because, like, there's some absolutely ridiculous shit going on there. And it's just like... Yeah. Oh, look, this is the point I was kind of making earlier about just chucking numbers on things and it works.
Yeah.
But, like, he's really enthusiastic about this sort of thing. Oh, Loz has got a dip. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed.
Yeah, glad you enjoyed it, Loz.
Yeah. The last bit, you can check the last bit on YouTube because I'll only talk for like 10 minutes. But, like...
He 1 hour later.
No. We're going to make it 10 minutes because I have work to do.
No, that's fair.
But, like... He does really cool stuff. I would absolutely recommend checking out his stuff if you just want to see someone talk excitedly about chords for 20 minutes. Which, to be honest, who doesn't?
It sounds like a good time.
Right. Mastering, very briefly. I think this is the wrong file. So I'm going to open up the credits because this is the credits are the best one. Shark.rpp. Oh, that was me putting music on the Shark video. Yes. Credits. No, do not save changes. Thank you. All right. I'm going to preemptively turn this down because I don't know how loud this is going to be. So, like, here's what the file looks like. Let me zoom out. Oh, not that far. So we have lots of tracks and and lots of stuff going on. We have 3 kinds of tracks, basically. We have exports from MuseScore. So, for example, the electric piano part you heard earlier is just an export from MuseScore. We can solo that. Oh, feck. Solo. There we go. It's there. Which is great. Also, it has a horrible lag when using it in this mode, which I have to use because otherwise it won't stream, and that's bad. We have MIDI files. This is the drum gizmo I was talking about before. Can I bring up drum gizmo? You gonna no? Maybe? Effects? Drum gizmo. It's my boy, drum gizmo. Drum gizmo's great. It just gave me a drum kit, and it gives you this humanizer thing that lets you mess with how bad it plays, which is cool. If I open up the MIDI file, we've got all of the different drum sounds, and then you're just like, a hit. It's all that sort of stuff. It's really good. It just does what I need it to do, and then you can play it, and you're like, oh, there we go. Let's solo the drums, please. It just does the thing, which is all good. And then recordings. So my voice recorded, predictably. Trombones recorded.
Didn't get Vocaloid, Finnbar?
No, I didn't get Vocaloid, although like that would be tempting in future. Vocaloid is cool. I like Vocaloid. There you go. There's my confession for today. I don't know. Notably, something I did have to do a lot of was messing with vocal takes. So there are actually like lots of different takes when we look at a given vocal. Oh god, what did I do? Track 6 of 8, this one. So like, for example, I did like 8 different takes of recorded vocals and then took the bits that I needed, because it turns out I'm not that consistent of a singer, which meant I had to take lots of different takes. Like, this is just a natural thing. Same with the trombones. Like, I'm not that consistent. So like take 3 of 6 over here. I only take 3 takes of trombone 2, which is a pleasant surprise. Although probably I just discarded all of the bad takes. But yeah, that's all recorded and nice. Recording was a nightmare because I didn't know how to do it. In the end, you had to like tilt the microphone 30 degrees and then play directly into it, but then also silence it. Interesting things I want to talk about. Let's solo a trombone. Is this bass? That's pretty good, but let's take... Actually, I want trombone 1. Where's, like, here? That'll do. So, we have this recording. Notably, there's a ton of effects put on it. And there's an EQ, which messes with the frequencies. The idea of this is take all the frequencies that you want from the trombone, which is like the middle ones, the sounds, and then take out all of the crap surrounding it, which is like the noise from lips buzzing and like that sort of stuff. Right. There's also this compressor thing that makes sure that it's not too loud. But if we quickly, casually take off all the effects and listen. Versus... Okay, that's a subtle difference, but like there's a lot less. It sounds more powerful, particularly in the mix. If I find where's a particularly that might do it. No, it didn't. Okay, maybe it's just a symptom of bass trombone then. I had to mess with this a lot. Yeah, you can hear, like, there's a lot of noise, there's a fair amount of noise in that, but then we just take the bit that we actually want. So it turns out messing with EQ is a very common thing that you have to do with recorded instruments, as you said you did some recording.
Yeah, well, I was more on the, like, hardware side rather than the doing useful shit with it side.
Well, so there you go. This is your lesson. You have to mess with EQ and compression and stuff. I think I do that with all the instruments. So, like, this electric bass has, boost the bass, unboost everything else. To be honest, it's pretty simple on bass end. Oh, this is an interesting part. The challenge, so you want the sound to be basically covering the whole frequency spectrum. Unfortunately, because of my, like, set of instruments, this was quite hard. Because my voice is not super high, trombones are not super high. The best I had was the electric keys. That was a weird chord. I wonder what the thing said about it. So as such, you have to mess with like which bits of the frequencies are boosted, so they're not infringing on each other's space. And there's another trick you use here, which is panning. So you know how stereo, 2 ears. And like sometimes you hear a sound louder in one ear than the other when you're listening to music.
Oh, yes.
The aim behind that is to make sure that the frequency ranges aren't infringed on. So, for example, what I do is I pan the highest trombone and the lowest trombone into different ears.
All right. Yeah.
It's very slightly, so then it sounds much less messy. So if I just quickly, I don't think this is going to happen with the speakers, but we're going to try it anyway because I can. So. This is panned. And then if we just casually reset the panning on those. No, that didn't work.
Yeah.
No, it sounds much better in the actual thing, I promise. Because otherwise it's just a very muddy middle frequency and it's just kind of ugly. But panning actively saved this trombone part from in the rest of the... Actually, let's just play everything. So let's see if we can get it with everything. Okay, and then I still don't think you can hear it on these speakers. Okay, never mind then. Trust me that the panning really helps when you're listening to it in headphones. Maybe the people at home can hear it.
Yeah.
I say the people at home, I think nobody at this point, but that's fine. I've been atted like a bunch of times. That's exciting. Oh, sure. Okay. I see. Cool. All right, cool. Anyway. Because But yeah, panning helped, and then there's this neat things you can put on the end. More EQ. I turned up the high end because there wasn't much high end stuff. More compression because that's the law. And this thing called a limiter, which basically makes sure that your mix isn't going to break the speakers.
Right,
and it's really good because by some magic that I don't understand, it makes everything sound louder. I don't know why, but it works, and I'm gonna stick with it. Yeah, it's great. Like, it genuinely. Let's see if I can get this experiment to work, because I've had 2 failed experiments so far. So, with the limiter, without, like the trombones sound weaker.
Yeah.
But then you put it back in, and it's actually much more there. I don't know how limiters work, but they fucking do, and I'm going to leave it there and not... No, you stay. But yeah, the basic process was record the individual tracks, see how they sound, or first of all, import the stuff that I could steal from MuseScore and the stuff I could have MIDIs for, and then ask Drum Gizmo to render for me. Record over the top of that, compress everything, because otherwise you get these light peaks that sound awful. EQ everything so you get out the frequencies that you actually want, and then finally master it all together with a limiter and like another EQ and stuff. But that's basic. The recording process was much quicker than the composing process. Like, the composing was on the order of weeks, and then the recording was on the order of days.
Okay.
So like, yeah. There's a lovely one sneaky thing I do, and I think the final thing I want to talk about before there's like any final questions. To panning trick again. Is that the bass? Yes, the electric bass is panned opposite ears to the lowest trombone, and the highest trombone is panned opposite to the lowest trombone, and the keys currently aren't panned, but in the here they're panned separately to the highest trombone. So then you get the 2 highest frequencies in separate ears, or like close to separate ears. But then. What the fuck is it? Is it? Oh yeah, it must be here. So like, and then this is panned, and then we pan to the center.
Oh.
Because it's the only instrument. Stuff in the center sounds better or sounds more clear. So the vocals were always pan center, and the keys were pan center for this, but then they're panned back to the right when the whole mix comes in. I'll just gotta let this play. There's like 30 seconds left. It's good.
It is.
Murder monster time.
Yes. Very good.
There we go. That's it, I think.
It's cool. And then there was the last point as well.
Oh yeah. Do you have anything that I should add? No is a very fair answer. We've literally been on this discussion for 2 hours, and if you're anything like me, you're quite tired by this point.
Yeah, no, I don't think I have anything. Of course, like thank you for doing this stream. I know that you're a busy person right now.
Yes, but it's okay. But it's going all right. The final thing to show off is that fuck you. Goodbye, dodgy software. Let's just move you on to here. Monsters of Cruise Ship now has a page online.
What? An itch.io page?
Yeah, it's like I said.
Look, it's got Topaz on it.
Yeah, look at her. She's doing great. And surrounded by friends.
Yeah.
And enemy. No, joking.
I mean, Freya wasn't overly antagonistic to Topaz.
At the start she was a bit antagonistic to a couple people, but that's fine. But yeah, there's a page now, and most notably, there is the first devlog, design goals for 0.3, which has some points I want to design. I'm so good at words. All right, let's go. Like it's too late. We're tired.
We did the announcement.
We did it. Right. We did this. We did the bonus stream. That's Discord. I don't want Discord. That's OBS. Oh Jesus, what am I looking? I was looking for Twitch, even though I think we are the only people left. Well, look. It was good fun.
Yeah, it's a good stream.
I have no idea if like any of that was super useful to anyone, but I hope it was fun.
It was fun. At the very least, it was very fun.
Good. I'm glad. Shall we end with a dodgy chord?
Sure. Let's go.
Oh.
That was a dodgy chord.
Oh. Lovely. That was alright. Oh, I can put it down an octave now. Ooh. That was quite good, actually.
Yeah. Damn, now I'm disappointed that I didn't get my dodgy chords.
It's fine, we'll just chuck an extra couple of semitones at the bottom. There we go.
Yeah,
alright, cool.
Yeah.
Alright, it's lovely. There weren't that many people on stream, but thank you for watching nonetheless. And if you're watching this as VOD, thank you as well. The only final thing I have to say is, I'm free!
Yes, Finnbar is free.
For like Monsters on a Cruise Ship. Until Friday, when it's our one-page RPG stream.
And tune in on Friday for the one-page RPG stream, and tune in on Sunday.
Oh, the one-page RPG stream is 6 till 9 p.m. Nice.
Yeah, 6 to 9 p.m. on the
Friday
for the one-page RPG stream, and 7 till 10 on the Sunday, the anime intro storyboarding stream.
Which is also very exciting.
We got some good people in the voice chat throwing around stupid ideas.
Yep.
Probably get my terrible drawing skills on there as well.
I can leave my setup down here, so you can just bring your monitor, your machine in, and then just go with that, rather than me having to move all this shit upstairs again. Yeah, we're in the living room again, which is the tabletop radio studio.
The tabletop radio studio, yes.
Yeah. But yeah, all right. That's it for real.
Yeah. Okay. End stream.
Bye.
Bye.